Hey, welcome back to Project Me, day 59 or 60 or something of that nature. It's good to be back and make another video. Got a few little updates to give and some reflections as well. Where should I start? Well, let's just say I had a great weekend. On Saturday night, I was invited to a friend's 21st, which is a big deal in New Zealand. 21sts, a bit like the quinceañera in Latin America, or maybe I think it's all of Latin America. A bit like that, but 21, big year here, so people tend to throw parties and whatnot. I went along to that. That was at a pub, and didn't know anyone there besides the birthday girl, and it was really interesting actually, because I ran into so many people, both in the pub, outside the pub, and on the way back to my house, which was really quite fun. First of all, I spotted my friend's girlfriend and her sister, so I was chatting to them for a while, and I get along really well with the girlfriend, and the sister's almost identical to the girlfriend, which is quite funny, in personality wise, and vibes were great. I had a really awesome time. Really cool. Also really good to be there to celebrate my friend amid the huge gaggle of people that were also there to celebrate her. So it was good to see that she was so happy as well. All of her friends and family in one place. It's always really nice. After that, when I was getting tired, I told my neighbours I'd stop by their place for their party as well. So I walked about 1 kilometre from the pub back to my place, which is essentially the neighbour's place, and ran into no less than 13 other people on the way, which a huge amount to begin with. And I stopped to chat with pretty much each of them individually, which was really good, because these are people I don't see very often, and yet I get along quite well with most of them. So it was really nice just to see how everyone was doing, and just have a chat with people I don't normally catch up with. So it was good. So I ended up, it took me an hour to walk 1 kilometre to my house, but it was a really good hour. I had a great time. Really good time doing that. There was something else I was going to mention in there somewhere, but that's okay. Yeah, no, I just had a really good Saturday night and early Sunday morning, I suppose. But nevertheless, what else have I been up to? Mostly just studying, to be honest. Yesterday I got 2 pretty big tasks over and done with. Finished up an essay that had been dragging on for quite a while, and what else did I do? Oh yes, I started and finished a mini assignment, I suppose. I thought it would take me upwards of 8 hours, so I blocked out all that time to do it, but it took me 2.5, 3. So I'm really quite happy with how quick I managed to do it, because now I've got all this other time to do other things. But I squandered it today talking to friends. Went into campus. I keep running into people I know, and I just love talking to people. I just love, yeah. No, it's been good though. It's been a nice day. I have got a little bit of work done, but not a whole lot. Just a little bit unfortunate. Would have gotten more done if it weren't for the fact that I attended the mooting competition finals. This is the same mooting competition that I spoke about in a few previous videos, where we competed, and the decision making about who got into semi-finals was done based off vibes. So I was already a little bit, irritated about that, but going into this, I was optimistic that the 2 teams in the finals would be really quality teams. It'd make me feel a lot better about being excluded from the semi-finals. And at least one of the teams was really good. I was impressed by them. The other team, not so much. Based off what I saw, and I'm not saying they're a bad team, maybe it was just an off day. Based off what I saw, I'm shocked that they even passed the preliminaries. So, a little bit disappointed in that regard. But hey, that's okay, we move forward. Life isn't fair. We'll get them next time, right? So it was good. I took lots of notes during the mooting procedures, and so I've got some some tips and lessons I'm ready to apply for the next competition that I can. Yeah, yeah, and that's okay. Let's see what's on stock now. I'm a little bit worried. One thing that's been weighing on me is my budget, my weekly budget. And by that I mean I put most of my money, most of my savings into bonds, be it bank or government bonds. Usually for a slightly longer period of time, usually about 6 to 12 months, which means most of my money is tied up, and I can't access it. And I've limited the amount of money I do have access to what I thought would be my budget. But the problem is I slightly underestimated how much I'm spending weekly, and so if I'm not careful, I will run out of money before my bonds mature, which is a little bit stressful because it means I actually have to very much watch what I spend on more than I already do. And it's partially my fault for being so frugal as it is, because now I have to be even more frugal, which just sort of sucks the joy out of life, if I'm being honest. So a bit of a tough situation, and one I am a little bit concerned about. But hey, that's okay. I will find a way. If I have to pick up odd jobs, I'll have to do it. Beggars can't be choosers. It's just an uncomfortable situation as well, given how busy I feel I am. So, an odd one for sure. But again, that's okay. It's okay. I'm sure there was something else I wanted to talk about. Anything at all. One thing that I've also been thinking about is sleep. And I know we've talked about sleep a bit before, but I think it's really important to have a set routine. And it's something that I try to do, but I definitely skip quite often, which makes it very difficult to know if it actually is a routine or not. And by that I mean, 9 o'clock, electronics away, get ready for bed, and then in bed ideally by 10. That is the dream. Does it ever really happen? No. And it might just be a matter of time wasting or procrastination or whatever it might be. I often find myself, at 9 o'clock I'll get my alarm, but I just want to finish just one more thing about work, and it takes me another 30 minutes, and then by the time I finish that, I start settling down and whatever, and then I'm in bed by like 10:30, and then I just lay in bed trying to sleep after that. But the point is I consistently sort of cross the line, and there are probably plenty of reasons for that, my perfectionist nature, the fact that I get home so late from studying every day, the fact that dinner takes me ages to cook, which maybe something could be done differently there. I have to think about that. Just among other things, it is difficult. I acknowledge that, and for that reason, I often find myself more than anything else, it's the fact that I feel like I give so little time to myself that by the time I get home, I feel so drained. I have to give myself a little bit of time, and that time in which I spend what I want to be doing in that time. Does that even make sense? You understand what I mean? In that time carries over past that line of 9 o'clock, and so I consistently cross the line because my me time is more important than a consistent routine for bed. And I think and I suspect that crossing that routine has actually been more harmful over the long run in terms of less overall sleep and less overall rest and whatever it might be. So it's something to consider, and maybe I need to find a way to shift into this. My bedtime routine is perhaps the greatest form of self-care there is, and that's something I should be thinking about. I suspect that's the way. Oh, this is quite funny actually. Yesterday, my friend was telling me about some recent drama with a student in the law school and somewhat prominent student figure at the university. And the tea isn't mine to share, nor is it something that is particularly relevant or important for me to put on the internet. But it was entertaining for me, as horrible as the tea was to hear. It was entertaining to me that people just cannot act like adults. My life feels so boring in comparison. I've got a very drama-free life, which I appreciate. Well, I appreciate when I hear stuff like that. And as much as it entertains me, it also saddens me as well. I want to go into public service. I want to serve the greater good. And it's it's hard hearing stories like this about horrible people doing horrible things, because it's like these are the people that I represent. But I know it's a very unfair thing to say, and it's purely based to a very small minority of people, because the vast majority of people are great. I do love talking to them. I do love hanging out with them. I do love interacting with them. It's just that small majority that sort of ruin the concept of humanity, I suppose. But that's neither here nor there. Just a fun comment about how my drama-free life is stable and boring. So there's that. Just thought it was interesting. It made me laugh. I hope it's at least a little bit amusing for anyone else. But anyways, I'll end it here. Wishing you all the best. Take it easy, guys. Have a wonderful week. Cheers.